All right, Monday morning, getting a late start today. Had to edit a video. It's about 11 o'clock and I'm getting ready to head over to the house right now, folks. So the last thing that you guys saw about the house was on Sunday, and it was crazy because I went over there and filmed that video on the very same day that we got it uploaded. And what you guys saw over there were definitely a lot more foundation issues that were beginning to get corrected. We were beginning to attempt to jack up the house. We got a lot of joists that need to be repaired, scabs that need to be corrected and bolted, piers that need to be corrected, jacks under the house that need to be taken out. I was talking with my guy over at the house this morning. We were talking about jacks, and the conversation was about, you know, can you use jacks under the house? Are there jacks that are a permanent solution for up under the house? I can't remember exactly what those jacks are called. Those are like $300 a piece. Those particular jacks, they don't rust. They got to be bolted down. They're just a lot different than the jacks we currently have up under there, which are $40 and from Lowe's and already starting to rust. That's the big issue with putting jacks under the house. They're going to rust and they're just not going to be strong in a couple of years. They could fail. Where we left work at the house at was these guys were attempting to get the house jacked up for level. Well, we were running into some issues with that because as they were using those 20-ton jacks under the house, the jacks were literally sinking into the ground. We didn't have enough surface covered in terms of our base to really get a grip in that soggy dirt under the house. So those jacks were just sinking, but they've been on it all morning long and they are getting the house jacked up and leveled. We're gonna go over there, we're gonna see what's going on with this floor, see how that's coming along, and there is the possibility I might go dump the box truck today. It's probably only gonna be me doing that. I put a shovel and a metal rake in the back of the truck to try to help make it a little bit easier on myself if I get to that. One other thing I want to mention real quick before we get this day underway. I greatly appreciate everybody offering support, offering the kind words. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about what's been going on at the house, especially in terms of the way that I've been operating. Well, folks, I'm trying to get my ducks in a row the best way that I can word it right now and really make sure that I'm on top of the work that's going on over there and I'm learning as much as I possibly can. And with mentioning all of that, I do greatly appreciate the things that you guys say in the comment sections, even if you're dragging me. You know, I deserve it. I definitely deserve it. I've ran this job in the beginning about as wrong as you possibly could. I'm trying to tighten the ship up now, though. And with that, one thing that I'm definitely considering is pursuing a Class A contractor's license, if for nothing else than to just do the studying, do the book work, the class work, whatever it takes to be able to obtain that so that I know the things that I need to know. I'm in a field of work right now where, like I mentioned in a previous video, if I've got any trade at all, I'm a laborer at best. I definitely need to learn a lot more than what I currently know. And I've already learned quite a bit of things, but there's so much more that I need to learn as well moving forward with this to be hopeful that if and when we do this again, it doesn't go anything like this house has gone already. A lot of people have said, you know, this house is a money pit. It has been. But a lot of that has to do with the way that I've been operating. The people that I've used, the trust that I've bestowed upon people, just taking people at their word. Oh, okay, you're going to get the job done. It's not the way you need to do this. And I have definitely learned that the hardest possible way. This house, it's needed a lot of work, but this could have been so much smoother had we had the right people doing the work and had I been more on top of things than I currently have been. But regardless, with all of that being mentioned, let's go ahead and head over to the house right now, see what's going on. It's 75 and sunny today. Yesterday it was freezing, so I'm hopeful that today is going to be a much better day all the way around, even including the weather as well. So I'm over at the house right now, and I've been over here for a little while talking with the crew over here, and these dudes are rocking and rolling. Folks, what I'm showing you guys is flooring getting cut up all the way down to the joist, and the reason for that is because we want to see the additional piers that are back here, which are doing nothing at this point. Actually, I'm seeing some
couple bolts in there.
Hell yeah.
Right now that thing ain't holding nothing.
It ain't doing nothing. So we're tearing up the rest of the flooring, and that's because there's 4 piers back in this area that aren't doing anything. And if this was done correctly, we're 12 feet to this wall, or a little bit shy of 12 feet. We don't need these piers in here. We're gonna put some bolts through this right in here to get that corrected, because nailing it, I've learned, is definitely not the right way to do that. A lot of work's been taking place over here this morning, folks, and the first thing to share with you guys is, folks, the house has been leveled. The house has been leveled. This front room is leveled, that back bedroom is leveled, and this area over here still needs a little bit of attention to detail, actually quite a bit of work. We're gonna be putting bolts through what needs to get bolted and taking out what doesn't even need to be here. So, to go back into this back bedroom, here's the best way that I can show you. And here's the level. And folks, she's good money. She's right there level. So they've got the 20-ton jacks up under there. Those things are buried. Got the house where it needs to be at. Now these joists back here are gonna need to get replaced. That's gonna be taking place. And again, in the front, it's all about checking the piers that are down here.
Jack it up, get them back level, both.
The scab?
Yep, see how when they...
We're definitely seeing that there's some scab work that's been done in here. But the good news is we are almost, well, we're getting pretty confident in the fact that we're getting the foundation squared away. So I was filming earlier and it was loud. We had a lot of work going on in here, folks, and boom, this is where we're at right now. We're going with that see-through floor. We had to get all of this out because we had piers over here and we needed to know what those piers were doing and what the issue was, and if this was done correctly, we don't need those piers. But I learned something, and that is, if there's piers under the house, there's a reason why they're under there, and here's where we're at, right here, boom. All this tied together BS, and there's no concrete under these, these are just center blocks sitting on mud, and they ain't doing nothing. The guys just took out a jack that old Brian put in back here that was sitting on a concrete block, and as soon as they pulled that jack out, that jack exploded. Nothing, it just fell apart. So it just really went to showcase just, you know, the durability and the strength of those jacks, and really the fact that they are just a temporary solution until you get the house done right. Now you're probably wondering, Joe, why the hell y'all taking out the jacks? And again, that's because if this is done correctly, we don't need these jacks. There was a jack in that hole right there, and there's a jack probably way back there that's already fell down. I can't see it. The point of cutting all this floor up was to find out what our issue was. And folks, there were issues of many. All in this area right here, we've got issues. And then in here, we got to get bolts through all of this. And then also, I think there's a bottom seal right there that needs to get replaced as well. One thing about it, the work is getting done. These dudes are busting ass. I'm helping them too. Don't think that I ain't over here working. I'm actually getting paid. My contract is paying me by the hour today. I think he told me he's giving me like 20 bucks an hour. Best labor he's ever seen in his life. So we're gonna take that off the bill. I'm just kidding. We gotta get it cleaned up. And the good news about having the floor exposed the way that it is either I or somebody else is gonna be able to go up under here, clean this up, and we can get the vapor barrier down. We can get the ground, I mean, we can really work under the house a hell of a lot easier tearing all of these floors up. And also, with us tearing up all of these floors like we've done, we can see any and all issues that need to get addressed. So that's where we're at. Just want to fill you guys in on that. And it's not gonna be too much longer before we're getting the floors put back down on here. Maybe within the next couple of days, those floors are gonna be going right back on, and we're gonna be back on track to get this job done. It's been a busy day over at the house thus far, and we've run into a little more of an issue in terms of trying to get everything leveled, and that's in the bathroom area. So what's going on with that is, I guess when Brian did the subfloor and the jack work in the bathroom, he built that on its own foundation. And the only way to correct that, because we got to correct it because it's just going to be too crazy if we don't, is to try to either run floor joist up under the bathroom floor. It's 3 floor joists that need to go from the outside wall to the middle pier support. Well, we can't get up under there. There's plumbing in the way. It's way too tight up under there to try to get in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build an official footer. We're getting the concrete. We're gonna do this thing the right way. We only need this one footer and this one pier system right there to hold up the outside wall of the bathroom and that area of the house. There's been a lot of talk about how this could destroy the bathroom tile because we've got to jack this thing up pretty high to get this where it needs to be. At this point, if tile gets broke in the bathroom, I mean, it is what it is. We have got to get the work done that needs to get done, and the work that needs to get done is that foundation repair, which is coming along pretty okay. Mostly level except for in that area where the bathroom is at. And right now I'm on my way to Lowe's to go pick up a couple more bags of concrete and a couple of cement blocks. We need some solid cement blocks for what we're gonna be doing. And we wanna get the concrete installed today because it's gonna take a little while for that to cure and for that to be where it needs to be at. So I wanna get that done today. They're gonna be bolting together joists that need to be bolted together. It ain't gonna be too much longer until we can get this subfloor reinstalled. They were talking about possibly wanting to be able to do that tomorrow. I think it's gonna be more like Wednesday or Thursday before we can get to the subfloor. But once we do get to putting that subfloor down, I mean, that's gonna probably be about a day, maybe less, get the subfloor in, everything is level, and then they're gonna be tearing down the sheetrock that's in the living room still, tearing all of that down, new sheetrock going up immediately thereafter. That should be toward the end of the week if everything goes correctly, and we'll be right back on track to where we last were, which was putting up drywall in preparation of plaster and then paint. I'm gonna tell you right now, those materials, they add up, folks. I'm just now leaving from Lowe's. Inside these bags are carriage bolts, washers, and the nuts. 14 bolts in total, 14 washers, 14 nuts, $85. Gosh almighty. I didn't think it was gonna be that damn much. So I was on the way to go get concrete and concrete block, concrete mix, and I would find out while there, I would get a phone call, we don't need it. We found out that the joists do run all the way through, just on the outside of the bathroom. Basically, both exterior walls where the closets are in the bedrooms, those are what's really scabbed up. So we don't have to get up under there and do too much. We don't have to do the footer and the new pier. We don't have to do that at all. We just need to get the joist bolted together. That way they're gonna be done correctly. Hence the fact that I ended up getting a ton more carriage bolts and nuts and washers. So I'm on my way over here right now, and I'll show you guys again what we got going on when we get there. Again, the big issue was in the bathroom section where it looks like a freaking Jenga set in here. So we were thinking we were gonna have to jack all of this up and put that pier right there. That was the game plan. That was the shovels right there. We were ready to do that. The guys went up under the house and they realized, because you couldn't see it at first, but they were able to see that this joist goes all the way through, this joist goes all the way through, even this crazy stuff goes all the way through. It's just that right there that doesn't go all the way through, and then this right here that doesn't go all the way through, or maybe it's this one right here. It's one of these. So it's only the two outside joists that need to be ran all the way through. A lot easier of a problem that we're dealing with than initially thinking that we were gonna have to jack up right here, build a pier right there, or even prior to that thinking that we were gonna have to jack the house up and then replace all of this. Which, if we jacked up right there, it was gonna have to get jacked up from in this area, and all the bathroom was possibly gonna get destroyed. Now it's still a possibility with this work that we're doing that we are gonna lose tile. Obviously the tile was done at the absolute worst time to do the tile work, but this is what we got. This is what we got to work with. And my hope is that even with the repairs that need to be made on this outside and this outside, that hopefully we don't lose all of the tile. That's where we're at. The guys are confident that we're going to be putting subfloor back in here possibly as early as tomorrow. I'm thinking it's probably going to be more like Wednesday. But if they are able to get to it tomorrow, that's awesome. Because again, getting the subfloor put back in here means that we've got this foundation squared away and we're able to get back on track. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up over here for the day. I've been over here pretty much all day talking with the guys, trying to help them out as much as I can, taking debris away, things like that. There's not a whole lot that I can do, but I'm learning as well. I'm asking a lot of questions. These guys are being awesome enough to answer these questions for me, and we are gonna get it right. Not only are we gonna get it right, we're gonna get back on track, and it's looking like potentially that could be sooner than later. So folks, I know it looks crazy in here right now. I know it looks like we're all the way back at the beginning. We pretty much are. But once we get this squared away, it's gonna be no time from now, really, that we're gonna be back on track and getting closer to completing this damn house. So I look forward to bringing you guys the next update. And until then, thanks for rocking with me.